Welcome back, dear students and friends. Now we have to see that who has discovered this cell, who has observed this cell. Have you observed cell in your life? Can you observe a cell through your naked eyes? Okay, there are many questions. Who has started to observe this cell? So let's see regarding the discovery and the contribution of different scientists in the discovery of a cell. There are lots of scientists who have contributed in the discovery of a cell. The first scientist who has contributed is Robert Hooke. What the Robert Hooke has done? Robert Hooke has observed a cell first time. He has observed a cell in the cork of a plant by using magnifying glass. So what he has seen, when he was observing the cork by his magnifying glass, he has just seen there is a small space, like this is a small space that is surrounded by some boundary. So a small space surrounded by a boundary he has observed while observing a cork of a plant under a microscope or magnifying glass. And he gave the name, such figure, he gave a name, cell. Okay, so the first discovery of a cell that was done by Robert Hooke. So what is the contribution of this Robert Hooke? The Robert Hooke has discovered a cell. Okay, he has how described this cell? He has described a cell as small space surrounded by a boundary. Okay, he gave this name. He gave this name a cell. Okay, so this is a Robert Hooke who has discovered this cell. Okay, after another scientist, the name is Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Soon after it, this is the microscopist. He is expert in designing a microscope. So he has observed, first time he has observed a living cell. Living. Okay, so he described the characteristics. Described the characteristics of living cell. Okay, he has observed the living cell for the first time and then he has described the characteristic of this living cell. Which scientist? It's a Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Another scientist, as the science advances, another scientist which has played a role very significantly, and the name of this scientist is Robert Brown. Is Robert Brown. Now the science has advanced. There are lots of machinery that has been developed. So in the cell, he has observed there is a very dark something that is present inside it, and he gave a name, it as nucleus. So what the Robert Brown has done? He has discovered nucleus. What he has done? He has discovered nucleus. Okay, so this is the contribution. You have to remember the name of different scientists, what they have done. Okay, Robert Hooke has discovered a cell. He has observed the cell for the first time in the cork. Okay, second is Anton von Leeuwenhoek. He has described the characteristic of living cell. Okay, third is Robert Brown. The Robert Brown has discovered the nucleus. Okay, so this is the contribution of different scientists in the discovery of a cell. As the science progresses, soon after there is a development of a cell theory. Okay, so now let's start with a cell theory. Okay, here we have to learn regarding a cell theory. This cell theory that was proposed by two scientists. There are two scientists who has proposed this cell theory. First one is Matthias Scladen and the second one is Theodore Schwann. Okay, these are the two scientists who has proposed this cell theory. Which are the two scientists who has proposed this cell theory? One is Matthias Scladen and the second one is Theodore Schwann. Both has proposed a cell theory. Okay, they have combined together and they have proposed a cell theory. Okay, this Matthias Scladen is a German botanist and the Theodore Schwann, that is British zoologist. Okay, Scladen is a German botanist, a Schwann is British zoologist. Both are expert in their areas. So the Scladen, who is a German botanist, they have discovered in a plant science, because the botanist means a plant science. He is expert in plant science. And the zoologist, the Schwann, is an expert in an animal science. Okay. So now what they have discovered? The German botanist, that is a Matthias Scladen, he has discovered this. He has discovered that plants are made up of different types of cells. Which unite to form tissue. Okay, this is a discovery of a German botanist Matthias Scladen. What he has discovered, as he is a specialist or expert in plant science, he has done experiments on plants and he discovered that plants are made up of different types of cells, and these cells unite together and it form a tissue. Similarly, the British zoologist, that is a Theodore Schwann, he is expert into an animal science and he has discovered that the animals or animal cell is covered by a single layer called plasma membrane. Or it can also be called as cell membrane. This is the contribution by a British zoologist Theodore Schwann. Clear? In the cell theory, there are two contribution of two main scientists, Matthias Scladen and Theodore Schwann. What the Scladen is German botanist and the Schwann is British zoologist. The German botanist has discovered that plants are made up of different types of cells which unite to form tissue. And what is the discovery of this Schwann, British zoologist? Animal cell is made up of, or it is surrounded by or covered by a single layer called as plasma membrane, or it can also be called as cell membrane. He has also discovered that cell wall is absent in animal cell and it is present in plant cell. Cell wall is absent. Cell wall is absent in animal cell. It is only present in plant cell. Okay, that was done by a Schwann. The discovery was done by a Schwann. Okay, so these are the discovery which has been done. Now what happens? Both the scientists, they have came together. This is from Germany and this is from British. Okay, it is from Britain, Great Britain. Okay, they came together and then they discovered a cell theory, or they have formulated a cell theory. So what are the points under the cell theory? So the first point that comes under cell theory is like this, that all living organisms are made up of cells and their products. Okay, this is the first contribution. That means it wants to say that the all living organism, whatever it may be, they are made up of what? Cells and their products. Cells and their products. Like, see the examples. We are a living organism. We are made up of cells, but we don't only just made up of a cells. We also contain some type of a cell products. Like for an example, you can see your nails. What the nail contain? Nail is a cell product. Or if you see the hairs, what is a hair? Hair is a cell product. Or similarly, feather, claw, horns. What they are not cell, they are cell products. Okay, so the all living organisms are made up of cells and their products. Okay, the second thing what they have found is like this. The second thing they found, that cell is a structural and functional unit of living organism. Cell is a structural and functional unit of living organism. Okay, this is a contribution according to a cell theory. So they have formulated cell theory. Who has formulated cell theory? Matthias Scladen, and the second one is Theodor Schwann. They have formulated cell theory. According to cell theory formulated by them, all living organisms are made up of cells and their products. Second is, cell is a structural and functional unit of living organism. But this theory fails to explain how the new cells are being formed. How the new cells are formed. And then there is a role of one more scientist. It is Rudolf Virchow. This scientist has explained how the new cells are going to form, and he has explained that how the new cells are going to be formed. New cells are formed through the division of pre-existing cell. New cells are formed through the division of pre-existing cells. Okay, so the pre-existing cell means the cells which exist, like this is a cell which exists. This is a pre-existing cells. It divides and two cells are going to form. 1 and 2. Two cells are going to be formed. So here the new cells are formed through the division of pre-existing cell, that was explained by Rudolf Virchow. And now this third point is added into a cell theory, and the cell theory becomes modified cell theory. Okay, what it is called as modified cell theory. When this third point, which was proposed by Rudolf Virchow, it has been added to a cell theory. Okay, it becomes a modified cell theory. So according to a modified cell theory, all living organisms are made up of cells and their products. Cell is a structural and functional unit of living organism, and new cells are formed through the division of pre-existing cells. Okay, so this is a modified cell theory. So clear, students, what is cell theory, who has proposed the cell theory, and what is modified cell theory. So for today we keep this. In the next session we will learn what is the composition of cell, what is present in the cell, what the cell contains, that we will discuss in the next session. Till then, keep watching, keep learning, like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.